Hi guys, I'm T. Firstly, I'd like to take a second to just quickly acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we are meeting here today. Pay respects to elders past, present, and extend those respects to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders that are in the audience with us. I'm a youth advocate, have been for nearly 10 years. Second year criminology student, and I'm also a single mum. I work predominantly in developing and implementing legislation and policy affecting young people within the umbrella of child protection. So that spans across out-of-home care, family domestic violence, child sexual abuse prevention, and youth justice. I've worked with a number of organizations over my time. I still currently am co-chairing the Bravehearts Youth Advisory Council. I do a lot of work with the Create Foundation, and I just finished my term with the federal government Prevention of Gender-Based Violence Council. But before I get into the what, we need to take a little step back into the past and learn about the why. So, 4 years ago today, I lost my childhood best friend to domestic violence. It was very well known, but yeah, not here to retell that, but that was one of the biggest pivotal moments, and it is in part the only reason I'm here today. What began as a heartbreak became something more. It turned to a promise to not just her, but to me and both of our little boys, to ensure that they don't grow up in the same cycles and experiencing the same things that we both did. I didn't enter the sector because it was a smart career choice. I entered it because I needed action, but along the way I found a purpose. Okay, moving on to the problem. From the get-go, it was very, very clear and evident that prevention, and particularly primary prevention, was no one's priority or on the cards. And youth as a whole were just overlooked, and across the sector. Being the only youth representative on the National Action Plan, by chance, was surprising in the least. But the deeper I dug, the more I engrossed into the sector I got. Society, media, politicians, they all love talking about this one thing called breaking the cycle. But they forgot one key factor. To break the cycle, you have to start with the people of the next generation to break the generational cycle. We've invested millions, billions into programs, and there has been absolutely nothing invested into actually breaking the cycle for the people, and the people that have the capability to break the cycle. And it's not really that hard. We have already made the psychological advancements. We know that violence doesn't start in adults, it starts in children. And the who, what, when, where, how has already been answered. It's more about finding solutions, and no one's doing that to try and work out how we can work best to break those cycles. And that honestly makes me want to bang my head against the wall every day. Society as a whole, we would prefer to wait until it's actually a problem and a crisis rather than fixing it from the root. It's simple. And it's a fact we've known for like how many years now. Violence does not start in adults. It is learned behaviors, learned compromises, masked insecurities, self-awareness problems. And if we want different outcomes, we have to start where the patterns begin. It's not complicated, it's just not prioritized. And I just realized I have forgotten to actually cue my slides. Yeah. So that is why I have spent a considerable amount of my life creating a program that is scalable, engaging, and also innovative as a way of targeted primary prevention. It's not something that's new or whatever. It's something I made because you guys didn't try. It's built to reach young people early enough to incite a holistic change by approaching prevention as a developmental skill set. It's not radical, it's inexpensive, it's just logical, and it's very overdue. There are 3 pillars or components that make it different from not just current MBCs, but also other youth prevention programs currently on offer. It's simple. Whoop, that's that. There we go. Well, pillar 1 is emotional literacy and regulation. Teaching young people how to name what they're feeling. And then by naming it, we can then work out how we act upon it. Give them navigation toolkits, because it's how you interrupt harm before it starts. Second one is peer-to-peer accountability. By working with young people together, they will listen to each other, they learn off each other. By being able to learn and teach them how to call each other out. Call each other in, not out. It scripts scenarios, it builds confidence, and it teaches them how to recognize, but also stand up for things that are not okay. And ask if their peers are doing okay. And the third step is identity. Prevention through identity begins with teaching them to figure out who they are. Self-worth, boundaries, values. Because young people, they're impressionable, but by themselves, if they don't know who they are, it's easy for them to fall trapped into situations and cycles of not just violence, but hardship and crime, or other not so nice things. But altogether, using them unilaterally, it's practical, it's teachable, and it's scalable. So, I just realized I don't even know what is on the screen. I'm just going to assume that's the right slide. So, my ask today, Jesus, that was a bit close, is if we really want to break the cycle, we need to stop reacting to actions of violence and start preventing it from the beginning. Invest in more programs that focus on prevention. Embed literacy and emotional literacy into everyday life. And fund accountability trainings. Make identity-based preventions standards, not bonuses. Because young people deserve more than crisis responses. They deserve the skills to be able to build safer futures and live without the fear of being or perpetrating harm. I know I will continuously work because I believe prevention should be a norm, not an exception. And I have lost my last. And I had a closing argument, but I can't find it. I'm just gonna assume that's the end.